Hi guys, welcome back to another video. This is part 2 of the previous one we left off. In the previous one, I basically packed up all of our miscellaneous items, the bathroom, the laundry area and the kitchen area. That was basically the bulk of everything that we brought, and it was basically a two-fold split. I call it the front of the house and the back of the house. The back of the house was the bedroom, and the front of the house being all of the other things. The bedroom was by far the most difficult thing to pack up because obviously the clothes that we brought along was the clothes that basically was worn very regularly and fit very well. So what ended up happening was that 10 days prior to moving, I started packing up everything. Clothes that wasn't worn very often in the last week prior to us leaving and everything else. And I started weighing those suitcases because the one thing that I've learned from my hop from South Africa to the Cayman was that end point, the cut-off line is final, it's fast, and it doesn't wait for anyone. So if you don't make your decisions in time, they get made for you because you will leave to catch your flight at a certain time with or without your possessions. And I can promise you, because I've done it now twice, that when it comes to choosing possessions or climbing into a car and leaving, choosing possessions comes second. So you will catch that flight no matter what. So I made sure that I started packing everything timelessly, and I made sure that I knew exactly what was in each suitcase for me to remove if it ended up being overweight. And by a miraculous grace from God, it's the only way I can put it, each one of our large suitcases ended up weighing in at exactly 23.5 kgs. If you're more than 500 grams over, they start charging you. And when you travel with that amount of luggage, it actually, I don't know if they become snooty or snotty. Maybe you're tired and irritated. I don't know what it is, but they do actually start nitpicking, especially, sorry America, especially at the American border. So yeah, it was extremely important to me to know what I was leaving behind. And looking at this footage, guys, Cayman is hot. They say Dubai is hot. Now, the two different heats, like I got skin fungus all over. So you get two different types of hot. You get humid hot and you get dry heat. Dubai is very much dry heat. It's the desert. And then Cayman is there very much a humid hot. But we flew more or less in the same season from Cayman to Dubai. And I can promise you, Cayman was more hot than what Dubai is. I don't know if I'm more used to the Dubai heat because in Joburg, South Africa, it's also a very dry climate. But no, guys, Cayman was brutal, hey? So, that being said, I still wanted to film everything the morning that we left, and I didn't. We met up with the estate agent, no, the property manager. We met up with the property manager the morning at about 8 o'clock. We were supposed to leave at about 9-ish. And me and her ended up speaking the entire time until it was time for us to go. I still wanted to film an empty flat video for you, but I think I'm going to put in when the day we moved in, because I basically moved everything back into place and I left everything the way we got it. I must say, my experience leaving the Cayman was great. The car rental company ended up giving everything back that they were supposed to, unlike the South African side where, who did we deal with? Hertz. Hertz never gave us back our last two deposits, holding fees, whatever the case may be. But On the Cayman side they did, and also we received our full deposit back. Our water account, it was a bit of a schlep cancelling the water account. We went in, we cancelled it. I said to Andrew, look, I don't trust these water people. Some funny stuff happened when we connected, so we went back in. They're like, oh no, don't worry about it. Just add this to the thing, blah, blah, blah. Now it's sorted. And then finally they actually sent it to the property manager, but it was fine. I said to her, look, if they send it to you, we'll just pay it, don't worry about it. We paid for a deep clean. I wanted to have a deep clean prior to us leaving, because then I didn't have to clean the house. But she's like, no, we actually do a deep clean afterwards. So I arranged the deep clean for after us leaving the unit, and we received our full deposit back. I did not expect it because we broke lease. I actually thought, because we signed the lease for a year, I was fully committed. I obviously thought we were going to stay there. So when I broke lease, I felt very, very bad. My little cat that I fed every night, I don't think I'll ever forget that experience. The Cayman Islands, the beauty of the island. I mean, the skyline. I kept on talking about the skyline, how beautiful the skyline is. But it was pastel, and it was always pastel pink. I don't know, like grays, blues, pink, but pastel, very soft colors, beautiful. I mean, the photos that I send looks fake, and it's not. That's what it looks like. And even in winter, the winter water, when you go into, catching your breath, and once you're in, you warm up to it, and it is just absolutely divine. When we landed in the Cayman, the few times we went to swim, right when we landed, it was actually too hot, because we would go too late in the day, and the water would actually be like bath water. It would actually not even do anything. And even the pool water, I tried swimming. Oh no, I did swim initially when I first got there. Before the water got cold, there was a hurricane. I think it's Hurricane Raphael, and after that, maybe just before that, the water turned cold. And I said, no, I don't have to swim in cold water. But again, it's as soon as you're in and your body temperature gets used to it, it is so nice. But yeah, my Cayman experience is something that I will never forget. It's something that I will always treasure. I love the island. I love the lifestyle. I love the complex. By fluke accident, we landed in this gorgeous complex that was run by this property manager lady. She was brilliant. She did pest control. She had the pools regularly tested, and I mean, I couldn't have asked for a better complex in a strange country. It was obviously, we never settled because we decided to move on, but we would have actually, just before Andrew accepted the job, we started looking around for a car, and I decided I would want to go back to work 1 or 2 days, because if I have to compare Cayman to Dubai, not Cayman to South Africa, I don't think it's fair to compare Cayman to South Africa, because South Africa is my home country. It's not the same. If I have to compare Cayman to Dubai, I am a lot more free in Dubai, in the sense of I can walk out my door and I am right by the metro or the trams. I have shops right at my fingertips. I can choose. We're in JBR, so I can choose a million different places I can go get a cappuccino right now, 24/7. In Cayman, it wasn't like that. Because it was so hot, I initially thought, okay, Andrew can drop me at the beach in the mornings and I can enjoy my day at the beach, but then how do I get back home? The public transport there isn't as easily accessible as it is over here, and then taxis, because your lifestyle in the Cayman is so much more expensive than in Dubai, you couldn't really catch a taxi anywhere. So I was a bit more stranded, and even though I would go for a walk, you're very isolated, it's very alone. Not that I have anyone more to talk to over here. I think it's the background noise. I'd say it's the vibration. The vibration is definitely more my vibe. If you want to, I always say to Andrew, I want to go live in a little tiny house in the middle of nowhere, and I want to I don't know. I'll keep on buying my own meat. I will not grow my own apples and process them. I'm not a vegetable eater, but I just want to go live in the mountains, and I want to go walk outdoors, and I want to go, just live this free outdoor lifestyle. And I thought I was going to get that in Cayman. I really thought that everything, it wasn't a headspace. It was a heart space. My heart space told me I wanted more than what I had in South Africa. We would go for walks in the mornings, we would go to the gym, but then I would sit behind the desk and work 8 to 5. And in the evenings, I'm so tapped from the data capturing that I was doing that I didn't, and also you can't really go walk in the evenings, like we do now in Dubai. We didn't do it in the Cayman either, because by the time Andrew got home, he literally left at 6:30 in the mornings. He would get home anything from 6 o'clock at night, say 5:30 if it was early. But by then, you are so drained from that heat that all you want to do is take a cold shower. That aircon was on minus freezing, and you just want to go lie in that room and just go veg, because you're so drained from that heat. And when we landed here, it completely changed. Look, the beach is right around the corner from us. We've got the marina here by us. We go walking every morning. We go walking in the evenings after dinner. It's like we have more energy to do it. And I think it's got to do with the heat, because we're not so tapped and drained from it. But yeah, this was my Cayman experience. Like I said, I'm not sad we did it. It was paradise. Me and Andrew never had a honeymoon. We were workaholics, so jumped in after we got married on, I think, the Saturday. We stayed over where we got married the Sunday, and by the Monday he was back at the office. He was back working. So I had a salon at that point. The salon was closed on Monday, so we started working on a Tuesday. But we immediately went back to work, and we didn't have a honeymoon. So I kept on saying to him in the Cayman, it feels like our honeymoon, because it's so beautiful there. It's absolutely, what they also did is they very much loved the community. They did a lot of community outreach. His company worked for, especially, took hands with other companies, and they would do a community cleanups, like cleaning the beaches and cleaning the areas. And we joined once. We were supposed to join again. When did we land there? In September? In October, we did it. November, December was season, and they were supposed to do it again in January. And by then, Andrew basically resigned. So, yeah. So we never did more than one. But that is something we would have loved to keep on doing. So yeah, we did manage to reduce the luggage. I'm sorry, I'm all over the place. I have to think about. We managed to reduce the luggage. We managed to cross borders without any hiccups. We didn't pay a cent for additional luggage. Now, here's interesting information. When we landed in the Cayman, I almost in my brain made 100% sure I covered all my bases. What I didn't consider was, by landing on a Sunday, very little shops were open, and because we didn't have transport, and because there's no real taxis around that you can just go taxi, we had to rely on the guy that picked us up, and he took us to a little shop, but I had no grocery list in mind. Coming here, I knew that I needed to know exactly what to buy when we go into a shop. So that way I was a bit more prepared. So for anyone ever moving to the Cayman Islands, do not land on a Sunday. Please land on a weekday. Reason being is, if you land, because we thought we covered bases, please get us coffee, eggs, mince, milk. That's what we ordered. And that's what he gave us. But when we walked through the door, I'm like, I need the toilet. And there was no toilet paper. And that's why we had to drive out for toilet paper. And then I looked at the mince and I'm like, oh crap. How do you make mince without any salt or pepper? Like that's your minimum spices. So if I can give advice, please make sure that you land on a weekday. And the shops are open till about 10 o'clock at night there. Even here. Here it's 24/7. But in the Cayman, The shops are open till about 10 o'clock at night, Foster's especially. It is busy during the week, but you have to do what you have to do. So make sure that prior to leaving, you make a list of everything that you know you want to buy. I want to buy coffee. I want to buy oil. I want to buy toilet paper. Like if you run through your morning routine, your lunch, your dinner, and your bathroom routine, what are you going to take with you in terms of toiletries? What do you need to purchase? There is some familiar products in terms of like Colgate toothpaste and bread. I think Nescafe coffee. I don't know if I'm getting it confused to this side. So, but you know, there's coffee in each country. There's bread in each country. I still couldn't find a. So yeah, long story short is know what you want to buy when you go to the Cayman because the things don't look the same. You're going to look for stuff. And it's not packed like we're used to our Woolworths and our Checkers and our Pick and Pay. We know where everything's packed. It's not packed the same in the Cayman. So you have to be aware of what you want and you're going to have to be able to walk up and down and up and down. There's not really any form of online shopping. If you want to do online shopping, you're going to pay for it. And groceries is already expensive in the Cayman. And if you want to just add to that expense, you do online shopping. So me and Andrew managed to save a fair bit of money. We don't live an elaborate lifestyle, so for us it worked very well. And yeah, that being said, comparing landing in the Cayman to landing in Dubai, now I knew what happened to us in the Cayman, so I sort of prepared us and made sure that when we landed in Dubai, we would first go to a hotel. I booked an hotel, but eventually, because everything is so readily available in Dubai, knowing what I know now, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't take that step of booking a hotel because the hotel was basically as far away from the airport as what my current residence is. And then because everything is so, I mean, I walk downstairs and there's 3 shops that I can go buy milk at. So I could literally go and buy whatever I want around the corner. I mean, in Cayman, me and Andrew struggled to get coffee. Eventually, we managed. But here, there's a Tim Hortons, there's a Starbucks, there's a McDonald's, there's freaking you name it, and it's around the corner from us, walking distance. In actual fact, we walk every night after dinner and we go get a nice cup of coffee. So that's not something I expected, even though everybody tells you, sorry, that's not French, even though everybody tells you that is the case, that everything is so accessible, that you can literally buy anything you want at any point of time, that is the case. So that's definitely something that I would do differently. If you're gonna live in it's hotels that you can also do not long term, but medium term rentals. So if you they call it residence. So if you live in let's say the Blue Sky Hotel, it's something called Blue Sky Residence. Then you know that they have a few floors that sort of self-catering chalets or hotel rooms. I'll show you ours in the next video. And what it does is, when it says residence, blah, 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 residence, you know, okay, you can go rent a flat there for a period of time. And that's what we did. So I would not advise anyone moving from anywhere to Dubai to first go to a hotel and then to your residence. Okay, we did land in Dubai at like 10 o'clock at night. We only got to the hotel at midnight. But it would have been the same book-in process because this is also actually a hotel, if that makes any sense. And I was scared. I didn't want to wake up in a room. I thought a rental flat. I literally thought it was like a bed and breakfast, like a rental flat where you will wake up and you won't be able to drink coffee or make breakfast. It's completely different, especially if you're very centralized to the area. So that was my experience. I must say our flight from Cayman to Dubai happened a lot easier because of I drank a sleeping pill. I'm like, Andrew, you want a pill? No, he doesn't. I'm not. Well, that's up to you, baby. I'm drinking a pill, and I slept most of the way coming here. Still, it was the same route that we flew from South Africa to Cayman. So from South Africa, we flew up to Qatar, then halfway across the world over to Miami, and then after 2 days, we flew down to Cayman. So this time around, we flew from Cayman to Miami. We made sure we had a long layover in Miami because the airport in Miami is funny. I'm not dissing the Americans. It's a large airport. You have to get from one side to another side. You have to get through customs, and that can be a long process. You're like a fish in a funnel. You're like, so that can be a long process. And if I can advise anyone to make sure that they give themselves enough time at the Miami airport. In actual fact, me and Andrew flew at 10:11 in the morning. And when we landed, it took us a while to get through. We then had lunch and then we departed from there. It made it so much less stressful. When I got onto the plane, I immediately drank my little tablet. I slept a few hours and then we landed in Doha again. And from there, it's only 1.5 hours to Dubai. So it was a very quick, but by then it was a long, my family in South Africa, we basically left and landed the same time frame, which was 1 p.m., 8 p.m., whatever. But it calculating the hours back to South African hours, we basically flew 24 hours, even though it was like 2 days. In reality, it only ended up being 24 hours with all the time changes. It's been an interesting experience. When I do the little flat tour, I'll explain to you how landing in Dubai and landing in Cayman was different because of the atmosphere. Very interesting. I feel at home in Dubai already, and I felt it from day one. I can't believe, I thought I was going to be very sad because of this idea I had of a lifestyle I wanted to live, and I really thought I was going to get it in Cayman. Little did I know I was going to get what I was wanting, like I said, the heart feeling. Um, Little did I know I was going to get that in Dubai. So my little outdoor lifestyle we were hoping for, we got on this side. Like you can see, I look better. The heat, my hair is not as frizzy. I had to cut it. You can see in my previous video. When I tied it up, you could actually start seeing bald spots. So no, I had to cut my hair. I'm actually liking it. It's getting a bit. I cut it back here already. So yeah, I'm actually getting used to the short hair. I'm liking it. I'm feeling a bit more upbeat, and I just think I look better. I mean, you saw my previous video. You're seeing me in this video. I'm not looking good. The Cayman heat was not good for me. I couldn't wear makeup. I couldn't. I could not. I couldn't even wear clothes. People. I wanted to wear nothing at all times. So at least in that sense, Dubai is also good for me. So until next time, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being patient with me, for not posting regularly, for me to find the time to work through all of my emotions. I really appreciate that. And until next time, enjoy living life. Bye.
Okay, I've packed away, I would say 98% of what we need to pack. I've got the weight for each suitcase. This one is only 14, so whatever's in the wash, whatever we're wearing, whatever plugs and plug sockets and blah 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 that we need to pack will be chucked in here last minute. Each suitcase is about 21-ish kgs. So we have a little bit of space available in each suitcase if we need to dump something. Whatever is left is light. So I'm not too worried about if I dump something in a suitcase, it'll push me overweight. When we traveled here, we had 7 suitcases, 7 large. It was, I think, 4 duffels and 2 hard cases. We had the 2 7 kg carry-ons plus backpacks. And Andrew and I both decided, going to Dubai, we do not want to travel with that much weight. It was quite difficult to find a vehicle large enough to fit all the suitcases at once. And you know, when we landed at the hotel, it was quite uncomfortable. I felt quite stupid trying to offload my bags. And I know in Miami they said, no, the porters will bring your stuff in. I felt uncomfortable. I didn't feel comfortable with leaving all my earthly possessions on the side of the road and walking away. That's just not who I am. So I think 4 large cases, 2 carry-ons, 2 small suitcases, and 2 backpacks is perfect for what we want to do. We have an extra one, but I don't even think we're going to use it. We've got a lot of little heaps, like that heap over there. If we had space available, we can go dig in there. And this little heap is to throw away things. I think I'm quite comfortable with what I have. And that's it. I feel comfortable with what I have. I don't think I need to add more stress by adding more items. So, thank you for watching, and the next time I see you, I suppose we'll be on our way to Dubai.